All right, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Forward Thinking Founders. We talk to founders about their companies, their visions for the future, and how the two collide. Today, I'm very excited to be talking to Sanka Vu, who's a co-founder of Alta. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Hey Matt, it's going great. Excited to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you on. Looking forward to learning more about what you are working on. For people that haven't heard of Alta, tell us, what are you working on?
Yeah, so Alta is an AI powered platform to build mobile applications. And we are super excited to really be innovating in the forefront of generative AI and also no code, low code tools. So we think it's a great platform for anybody, even without coding experience, to be able to launch applications.
All right, so I've been into the no code stuff for a while, but now that we have AI in the mix, I feel like it's a whole different world. So walk us through like what if someone wanted to use your product, start building. Can you kind of walk us through how that works and what someone can do with the product?
Yeah, so we've been so excited about all of the, text to image, text to video technology and announcements that have been coming out. But what's really different about Alta is we've been really investing in our text to app platform. And so in order to use Alta today, you can go to alta.so/AI and try out our text to app platform. It's a early demo right now, but what you can do is type in, what type of application you want to build. So, for example, a marketplace for swimming pools. And we would then generate the first version of the design of your application. You can go in and change out text, images. We have a drag and drop platform for you to switch out, some of the logic in the screens. And then what's really exciting is that we let you preview it immediately on mobile web. So you can scan a QR code, open it on your phone, or share a link with other beta users. And then you can also download real code. So that makes us really kind of stand out from other just purely no code platforms because you can download React Native code in order to launch your application on iOS and Android.
I'm curious. Tell us about the origin story here. Like, I feel like this is the perfect storm and the best way for you with the markets and everything. But like, how'd you get started with this? What's the origin story?
Yeah, so my background has been primarily in product management. So I've worked at a lot of the big tech companies in product management, including Amazon, and then started going smaller and smaller. Worked at Zillow, more recently at a startup called House. And what I continually faced was that while our websites were constantly, launching new features every single day, running dozens of A/B tests at the same time, even after 10 years after the iPhone came out, it seems so much harder to build mobile applications. You'd be lucky if you're able to launch one or two features a month, even at a big company, and then run one A/B test. And then, kind of, when I was in COVID, my co-founder and I actually started with a different app idea. We wanted to build an events app. And we originally started on iOS because that's his background. And then we realized as we interviewed our customers that a lot of people wanted Android and then they also wanted web. And we're thinking about, wow, the two of us are super technical with like product and engineering backgrounds, but we're scrambling to make sure that our application works on all the channels that our users expect it to work. And so when we started talking to other founders and even designers, product managers, agencies, we heard the same issues where you often felt that you had to either learn three different platforms or hire, three engineers to build the same experience cross-platform. And that really made us realize that there's so much opportunity in this space to really make work a lot more efficient and not duplicative. So by being able to design a really amazing mobile first experience in one platform and then being able to launch it across web, iOS, and Android at a click of a button, I think that, is really the future. And then the final piece is, as we started building out the platform, so many new things have come out from generative AI. We started playing, with DALL-E and Stable Diffusion when it first came out. We started using GPT-3, and now our platform uses GPT-4. We're exploring how we can use like Chat GPT into our platform. And I think that the appetite for people to really just completely transform the way that they build applications is there today. We're not at just like the Wix WordPress world anymore. We're really at a world where I think anyone can really bring their ideas to life very quickly with a simple text prompt.
Yeah, it's super, super interesting, super impressive. I'm so intrigued to see where the world will be, not even 10 years from now, but like even like 1 year from now, right? Like it is crazy. But I'm curious for you, as you build this out in a ever-changing environment that's probably getting more and more exciting, how do you spend your day on an average day? You wake up, of course no day is the same, but if you were to give us the most average day that you've had in the last month or two, what are you spending your time on?
Yeah, it's interesting because as, the CEO of the company, I think that you have to wear a lot of different hats. But honestly, the first thing I do when I wake up is I like to read a lot of news. So, I subscribe to different newsletters and then also even like AI specific newsletters to really hear about like what's going on. Because literally every single day, something new is coming out, whether it's from like big tech companies like Amazon just had a big announcement yesterday. The last week you hear things from Google and Microsoft, and then there's all these new startups that are coming out with new ideas that can either be collaborators or even like competitors. And so I spend actually about at least an hour or two a day just reading about what's going on in the world because the AI area is moving so fast. And then other things that I spend a lot of time doing is really brainstorming and spending time with my team. So we spend a lot of time. We're a remote first organization, but we spend a lot of time doing like design reviews, brainstorming, wireframing, things like that, and kind of sharing what we've learned, whether it's from what we've been reading, the technologies that our engineers are looking at, or even playing around with some of the other tools. And so we, spend a lot of time like ideating there. And then the other piece of my job that I really enjoy is spending time with our customers. So I probably have at least 5 customer calls a week. So it kind of depends on when. It might be someone that we're trying to sell to, so initial onboarding. It might be someone that's been on our platform for a while, but is giving us some feedback on how we can improve it. But what's really important is like when we meet with the rest of the team, whether it's, in our stand-ups or our team meetings, it's really bringing back that voice of the customer as well, because the rest of the team is really heads down building. And so really sharing like, what are the insights that our customers have given us? And then what are, the things that we should be focusing on for the next week?
I love that. I love how you start the day just consuming information, which is essentially consuming like where the state of the world is at that day, right? Because it's changing. That's cool. Well, I mean, luckily, as you're building your own company, you get to influence part of that world too, and you have a vision for the direction of your company. So I'm curious, like in 5, 10, 15 years into the future, even though it feels like a long time from now, where do you see Alta going? Like, what's the big vision here, and what direction are you rowing in as you build out your company?
Yeah, it's funny. So we chose the name Alta because we really felt that Alta should be the alternative to coding. And when we really had that initial mission statement, we didn't know what the world would look right? We knew that coding has been the way that people have built applications, since kind of computers became more popular, but it is really limiting because, over 90% of the world now accesses the internet on mobile devices, but there's less than like 20 million software engineers. So there's so many people that are unable to really build businesses or bring their app ideas to life. And so we really want to build an alternative to coding. And I think that that's really our vision in the next 5 to 10 years. Like, how do we accomplish that? So first we thought about, drag and drop no code tools. Like, are there ways that we can really make it like as a visual way for people to build applications? As kind of generative AI has really blossomed, now we're thinking about, okay, are there ways that, this AI, you can actually just chat with an AI and they are essentially your agency, right? So instead of hiring an agency that's a human, designer and coder, can AI take on, 80% of that work? Like, it doesn't mean that humans aren't going to be there to really fine tune some of like the output, but can you become much more efficient and can have more people all around the world have access to these tools in order to build their applications? And what's really heartwarming for me is that we have users literally from all around the world. Like, it's crazy where you see people from like Africa and, Japan and Europe, like South America, like not using our tool. It's not just people, just in the US, building on our applications, even though we're a US based company. So I think at the end of the day, our vision for like what the world looks like in 5 to 10 years is that anybody can build an application. So whether it's, I remember being a first grader learning how to use Excel in school. I want this to be a tool that, even students or children can learn to use and build applications. And it just becomes such a, you know, another essential set of your toolkit. Like, how to do math and how to write. And then you also have a way to build applications and spin them up really quickly to solve the problems that you're faced from a daily basis.
I love it. And in order to make it happen, you'll need some help, right? It takes a village to make a startup work and scale. So my question for you is, how can the forward-thinking founders community help? Are you hiring? Are you raising money, looking for users, beta testers, like, for new features? How can we assist with you helping making that vision happen?
Yeah, I think as a startup, you're constantly dealing with all three of those different buckets. I think the thing that would be most helpful for us right now is beta users, just because we launched on Product Hunt in March. And, we had a bunch of folks come in and start using our tool and getting feedback from that. But I think, continually just getting more customer feedback so that we can iterate on our product. I think, we'll probably fundraise later this year. So having like connections and founders that can really introduce you to the investors that they respect and people that they would actually recommend working with, I think is really important to us. And then, we're always looking for great talent. So if you have friends that are, great designers or engineers or even like growth business people, we are always looking for talent that can really help us get to the next level.
Cool. And then for my last question, if someone wanted to get in touch for any of those reasons or anything else, how can someone learn more about what you're doing? Where can they find you online? Do you have a website, social media, email address? Where can people connect?
Yeah, so the best place to learn about Alta is just going to our website. It's alta.so. There's a lot of content and information about our company there. And then if they're interested in connecting with us, they can always email me at hello@alta.so.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.